Sitting on you. Hey, so,
Oh, we did, okay.
Sure.
Okay, it's 4:01, September 24th, 2024. I call this important meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In your packet, we have the August 15th minutes that we rolled over because we were short a couple counselors at that meeting. So, Sherry, have you had a chance to look at those?
Yeah.
Are there any changes or?
No
additions?
changes.
I entertain a motion to approve the August 13th city council meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve the August 13th council meeting minutes. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And the next one is September 10th. City council meeting minutes. And are there any changes or additions to these minutes?
No.
I entertain a motion to approve the September 10th city council meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve September 10th, 2024 city council minutes.
Right? All approved?
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then we have
No.
we have September 16th, we had a special session. So we have the minutes for that also. Are there any changes or additions to that, Billy?
No.
No.
Okay, we're going to entertain a motion to approve the special session minutes from September 16th.
I make a motion to approve the special session minutes, for September 16th.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, reports. So Rob does a financial during the first meeting. Matt's going to start giving us a city recorder report on some financial, some what's going on in the city that affects the financial. That way, all councilors understand what he's seeing in the office as far as money and that going on. All yours.
Brent? So, we've all seen this report at the beginning of each month from Rob. I don't like it because I hear anecdotal statements about, gosh, we don't have enough money to do that. Why are we doing that? Blah, 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 blah. And I need, for me, I'm a data junkie. I need to be able to see it. So I started this spreadsheet last year. And basically what it is you have all our receipts across the top line, all our expenses across the bottom line. If the number is red, we lost that month. And you can see there are several reds. Unfortunately, this number is wrong, which says we lost $87,000 last fiscal year. It's wrong because it's based on this row of information that are estimates. So at the end of the year, you look at the P&L and you get the real number. So the real number was roughly $40,000. So we only lost $40,000 versus $90,000. And so down here, there's a little information about this number, 64,720. There's a little bit of detail in there to help, help you to understand it. I'm not gonna go through it, because I know we're pressed for time, so. Oops. So this is this year's. So we've got 2 months in so far, red. And so we're behind $15,000 in 2 months. Again, receipts across the top, expenses lined out a little bit in the middle, and then the total expenses. So we're operating in the red still. I don't know about you guys, but at my house, if my expenses are more than what I'm making, I got a real problem. There are business owners in here, former business owners as well, who, are you gonna stay in business? Doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, enough of my preaching. So sewer and water. So in the last 2 months, and I'm going 2 months because, this is the first report. So we've had 5 new accounts for sewer and water. Every new account puts in a deposit, $150. And according to our procedures, and I think it's in the ordinance, we have to credit back customers after a year if they have a good record on making payments toward their sewer and water. So we had one lady, when she sent in her check this month, she said, hey, I got my water in 22. Well, what about my $150 deposit? So I checked her account, and sure enough, she was making good payments. So she'll get her 150 back if you all approve. So next on sewer and water delinquent accounts. This month, what I do is the beginning of each month is I go into QuickBooks and I do a report that shows me who owes more than $300. This month we had 7 accounts that owed more than $300. And so they each got a letter, and the letter says you have 20 days to come in and pay, or we could shut your water off. So far, the due date, I think, is the 26th, so Thursday. So far, we still are owed $673. We've collected $1,736 so far.
That's from the letter.
Yep. Payment agreements, right now, we have 2 payment agreements for people that are delinquent. One of them defaulted. The total amount for those 2 delinquent accounts is about $3,500 that they owe us. There is a 3rd agreement that's in process, and it's for $970, and again, it's in process. Water shutoffs. We've shut off two customers this month. Actually, sorry, not this month. One in July and one in August. One of them is working on a payment agreement. The same person here. Next, water and sewer infrastructure. We had 2 new services hooked up in the last month. One was out on Clifford, and one was out on Ajax. And the one on Ajax, there were 2 other water boxes installed so that those folks can get water when they're ready. And that's all a part of the agreement for installing bullet point number 3, the new main lines in that area. And then coming in the springtime, we've got the gentleman up on Ibex who wants to get service up to the clubhouse, which you've talked about a few times. Lastly, sewer and water, interceptor tanks. We've been pumping them a lot. I don't know if it's a lot more than usual, because I've only been doing this for going on 2 years. But it seems like a lot, because the expense for one pump out is roughly, if I remember, about $700.
It's gone up considerably.
Huh?
It's gone up considerably.
Yeah.
It used to be like 500.
Yeah.
Is that per 1,000-gallon tank or?
Yes.
Okay.
That's because there's no competition. Grant's not doing it for us anymore.
Well, we have
Well,
another,
no, there is competition.
we have another one now.
Oh,
I think it's called K&S.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just one anecdote on interceptor tanks, like I don't like anecdotes, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. One of the pump outs we did back in August, on the bill, it said tons of baby wipes. And that person called in and said, hey, my interceptor tank, I think there's a problem. We're having water back up, blah, blah, blah. And so it's probably the baby wipes. So it's just a reiteration that baby wipes are not a good thing because they are not biodegradable unless you're wiping your baby with toilet paper. So. Permits, we had 2 zoning permits you guys approved recently. We had 1 lot line adjustment that was up over where the new main lines came in, were put in. Fire season, we all know it's kind of winding down right now, but no new permits sold. And then no conditional use permits. In fact, I've only seen 1 since I've been. Other notable things that are going on around the city, the library and museum, all the grants and funding. So the grants, we had 3, we had 2. One was from OPRD for $8,000. I've applied for our reimbursement because that's a reimbursement grant. The Ford Family Foundation was $25,000. And they paid us out the day they approved it. So that wasn't a reimbursement grant. And then, of course, we've got a higher amount of insurance payment. We were thinking it was $2,100, but we got $6,700, I think. And with that extra money, we obviously did the right thing and insulated the ceiling in there because the insulation was yay thick and matted and somewhat damaged from the water we got in there. So the work went pretty well. The guys were reporting to me every day, and they never ran into any real issues other than the insulation. They asked us if we would, while it's open, would we do that? I told everybody here who all said, yes, let's go for it. That was $5,500. So the total cost of the roof was roughly $41,700. And there's now like $2,000 left. Well, maybe $1,500, because we've got, Baker County is gonna give us $3,000. We got the $690 from the sale we did in the fire thing, the fire department. So we came out good. Small city allotment, I just got an email 2 days ago, I think you were copied on it, Linda, and it said, we've received your application, we accept it. Great, are we gonna get the money? So basically, it was, the grant application was put in back in June, if I remember, and now is the deadline, so they're letting people know now that they got stuff. So the staffing grant for the fire department, so far, total earned, for hours is about $15,000. Has been paid out or will be paid out in the near future. Service line inventory. So this is a little fun thing we got from, I guess, the Oregon Health Authority last year, saying that we have to do an inventory of the piping in the city for lead, copper, galvanized, I forget the 4th one. Anyways, the good thing about it is we're not gonna be able to check everybody's service lines in the city. So the way it's written is you have to sample 20% of your use. So it shouldn't be a big deal. And the guys can do it just by looking in the box. They can see what our pipe is going into the box and their pipe going out of the box.
Well, can't we survey that though, when we put the meters in? That would probably.
Are we gonna put the meters in on October 16th?
Of this year?
Yeah.
5,000?
No.
No. We can't.
We can't.
It's gotta be in by mid-October. Yeah. Which is a bummer, but anyway. The Sumner Chamber of Commerce, that's me. So I'm still getting weather forecast calls, I get smoke forecast calls, I get fire season inquiries. They're rising like crazy every day. I get at least 2 calls on that. I get, requests for city events information, and for anybody in here who does events in this town, it'd be good to call in and let me know. Cause then I can be Chamber of Commerce for everything that's happening. So the filing project is the project I'm working on in the office. It looks like a dump right now because there's files everywhere, but the work is to take 5 separate filing systems and make them one. So it's still in process. Since I became a notary, we've earned $30 with the city. All right.
Hey, to start.
Yeah. The APUPS, which is the annual housing unit something. So they want to know how many houses are in town, how many mobile homes and so on and so forth, and that goes to Portland State. That's done. What I found out in the interim is that 2023 was not done, so now I have to go back and do 2023. Because they had the wrong contact in 20. So I get still getting a lot of calls for property inquiries, lien searches. I get people calling me, hey, I got this property up on blah, blah, blah. Can you tell me, is that blah, blah? And it's just like, I don't know, actually real estate. Anyway, but I have my customer service hat on, my Chamber of Commerce hat, to do what I can to help them out. Speed zone study. We've been waiting, it's actually a year now, we've been waiting to hear back on this. So here's the recommendation, and you guys need to vote on the recommendation so that we can get back to the state and hopefully get everything installed November 1 or beginning of November, because they do maintenance in the beginning of November. So just for reference, this is the stockade, and this is Traders Outpost. So from the border of the city to roughly RV Park, it's still gonna be 55 miles per hour. From there down to Sawmill Gulch will be dropped to 45 miles per hour. And you can see the up in red. And then the bonus is, and we didn't ask for this, but from Sawmill Gulch to roughly the Traders Outpost is gonna go from 45 to 35 miles per hour. So if you guys would vote on this when you start looking at that stuff, that would be great so that I can send this back with your approval. So that's the end of my report. So is there anything else you want to see in this going forward or less?
So section E is 55, section D is 45?
45, Yep.
Section C is 35.
35.
So, anybody?
So the thing is though, is this says map
Yeah.
that the recommendation for that 45 is going to go to 35. And then the 55 mile an hour, which is east of Sawmill, up 100 feet east of Iron Horse, is going to go to 45, is what the recommendation is.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. From here to here, Sawmill.
So it doesn't go all the way to city boundary.
No. Like I said, they left that small section, and I think it's 0.26 miles, if I remember from reading that thing. They're gonna leave that at 50.
Well,
Or they're recommending they want.
right, and from this one here, what I'm reading right now, is 100 feet east of Iron Horse Loop. So that would be that direction, 100 feet, they're gonna leave it at 55. 350 feet east of Mountain View Lane, that's 2. So that would be from Mountain View up to that 100-foot mark, where the 100-foot mark's gotta be, it's gotta be fit.
Well, this is their map.
Right.
So this is what that verbiage says. This is a
Because where's the
graphic.
RV park on the map?
It says RV park right there.
Okay.
which is part of D.
Okay.
Part of the 45?
Yeah.
45. Any other questions?
So they didn't reduce it up by, the other RV park,
Yeah, that's it.
is that it?
Yeah. But you have a copy of that map.
Oh, wait, there's some of those, never mind.
It just doesn't go to Mountain View, which would be city limits.
Yes, it's still 55.
Right.
Okay, it's still slow down, yeah. So do you guys have anything else you want to ask Matt or want him to do all that when this is?
No, but it's
research?
nice, like that shows what you've been working on, what's going on in here too, it's really nice.
Thank you, Matt.
Yep,
Thank you, Matt.
sure.
Is this a monthly thing or a weekly thing?
Second meeting of the month.
Second meeting. A weekly. Okay, reports. John, do you have anything as far as the fire department? or
I
anything?
would just remind people, please be aware, fire season is not over. Please be aware of that. We got a ways to go yet.
They got that one taken care of out of Granite, didn't they?
I believe so.
Okay. So do
They're jumping right on because they've got a lot of assets right now, but the main point is this time of year, people start getting complacent, a little lax. I had a citizen come down, evidently a couple of people were camping, had a campfire and left it going and drove away. And the citizen spotted it, went down, put it away, put it out. So we just can't get complacent yet. And I think that's what the message that Kurt was like that.
Are they allowing
They should be.
campfires in the parks that they have, like rings?
Not any that I have heard. No campfires, except you will see the UL, the propane stoves, they are allowed because they're UL and they kick out in those parks. So
Not in season now.
people call those in, they don't realize.
Is that just the city thing, John, or is that, because out on, mosquito plastering report says campfire's okay
Small campfires are okay.
in a park?
Yeah, that is a city thing until ODF tells us different. Kurt you should check with Kurt. Kurt has not updated me on anything, that there's been any change. I notice our sign is still no ground fires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we vote on it?
No.
We're going to. Okay, thank you, John.
Mhm.
Okay, next thing here, and Matt's kind of written this up for you, is, grounds rental, the bicycling tour group. They want to come up twice next year, June 29th and July 27th. I don't think they were here this year or last year, were they? Were they here last year? I don't think they were.
I don't think they've been here since COVID.
Okay, so anyway, they want to, use the grounds and they will rent the grounds. And their question was, they want to camp one night, tent camp, one night, with one support vehicle, which is likely a U-Haul. I think we've let them do that in the past, and this is a group that's been here before.
So they want the showers there then in the facility.
Well, I think they'll just, they'll fill out a regular.
Yeah, they'd have to do the regular rental.
form. They're just checking before they do the form, they did do this.
That's next year.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've done it in the past, so. It's like Oregon, we haven't.
so I guess just have them fill it out and give us a number map of.
Yeah.
Approximately how many people.
25 to 35,
25, 30.
You want to vote on that?
not huge. And they'll have that support vehicle, which he said he thought would be like a U-Haul or a Ryder truck or something.
Okay. So, do you want to go on the same, or wait till you see the actual paperwork?
Wait for the
Yeah,
paperwork,
we
yeah.
will put in paperwork and, make sure they don't change their mind.
Yeah, they're just checking out.
The next one is the Sumter Cemetery. Another volunteer has come forward to be a chairperson of this. So, Mr. Valentine, right?
Yeah.
So we need to make arrangements to get maybe another citizen or two and a contact here from the city, which will be basically, you know, if we need a budget, if we, you know, what it's gonna cost the city and get all, I mean, we have to still be involved as far as budgeting and stuff money wise, to make sure we have the money to do what needs to be done.
Yeah, I've talked to, Troy, and, I got the information, how to get it on the register.
Okay,
And then I talked to, Marty Holstrom and John Day that redone a cemetery over there. And he knows how to do the plotting and all the grid and all that stuff, and he's willing to come over and, walk us through it. And kind of tell us what we need to do and where to start. And, who to get a hold of, so forth and so on. And I also got a hold of Dave Simonson, and he's gonna bring up a, cat, excavator. And I'm gonna water them stumps around, get the dirt out of them as much as I can. I tried to when I dug them up, but it just, you know, we kind of had a time limit for the machine. So I did spend a lot of time
sure,
doing that. But he's gonna bring one up. I gotta get a hold of him in next Tuesday. And he's gonna bring one up for me to use. And I just thought I'd lower them stumps around and get them to where we can get them burned up.
sure. So, yeah, I guess what we basically need to do is if you stay in contact with Matt, because we just need to know the expenses. So the city knows what they're putting into it, is all. You know, 'cause
And we,
as Matt pointed out, we don't have an unlimited budget for the funds,
so we got, what, 5,000 in the cemetery account?
about.
Yeah.
So we do have
have
some
that
money in the
budgeted in there.
So what's that? Huh?
Those are the expenses, just the fuel.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's, you know, last time the council donated $400 for
Right.
fuel, and that worked out great.
yeah,
And, I don't know how long Dave's gonna let me have the machine, but they're not really that bad on fuel,
okay,
I don't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, the other thing, just a reminder, is grants.
yeah.
Next year, we can go after
Put in
some
for a
grants as
grant-
well.
For grants to get more money as
Yeah.
we progress on.
That'd be great.
So if you kind of just can keep in contact with Matt, and then he can let us know what, you know, if there's something we need to do as the council to help.
Yeah, I've
you.
kind of been a thorn on Matt's pocket anyway.
I have to admit, I was ignoring you.
That's what you said the other day.
So, thank you for doing that, and yeah, just.
The
Matt-
biggest thing that I see that we're gonna have to do, that's gonna be the time pushing issue, is to get that laid out, so Matt can try to get a grant, because we're not just gonna give you a grant for a cemetery that. you
And
don't
this is
have a
what
grant.
Marty will do. He will come over and we can get with him and
Survey,
he'll walk
cost.
us through and tell us just exactly how he did it over there, and he was very successful at it. He's been at it for 35 years. And so he, you know, he knows what he's doing, and he's offered to come over and walk us through it.
Okay,
He said the first thing we actually needed to do was get it cleaned up.
yeah,
And so, that's gonna be a case of, being able to get a little cat or something in there to clean up the ground and get the stumps burnt, get the
Sure.
ground cleaned up, and
sure,
then go from there.
okay.
Could they be burned this winter? They've been sitting, what, 2 years now or a year? The stumps?
Over a year.
It's been about a year.
Yeah, it's been a year.
They dry enough to burn now?
That'd be nice if I could figure out some way to put, once a guy gets the dirt out of them, put something on there where we can keep it dry enough to get them started when winter time comes and get them going. The main thing is, in my opinion, is once they get to burning there, keep them stoked up if we can. And by doing that, it'll burn them up. It's gonna take a while. There's 572 stumps up there.
Jeez.
Well,
It was the forest.
could some of those stumps, could you cut off pieces for firewood?
I'm always
Uh,
scavenging for fire.
You know, I never really paid that much attention to it, but that's ignorant labor. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that or not.
Well, you know, sometimes stumps are this high. and
Yeah.
I could get 3
I
logs.
never really noticed that many stumps being that high when I dug them up, but there's probably a few, but,
You're big around, there's some
Yeah.
big Hercules up there. It's less to burn, Matt, go for it.
Talk to Dave and see if you can come up with a stump splitter,
with what?
a stump splitter. Cause Dave, with all the equipment he has, he may end up having one, or he can get his hands on one that'll go on that excavator.
Oh, a stump splitter?
Yeah.
Cause if you can split them when you're knocking the dirt out of them, then they'll burn good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, just keep in touch with Matt and he'll let us know what we need to do for you.
I'll do that as long as he answers my call.
I'll answer them now.
Thank you. Okay, Matt, what's this flea market vendor date?
So, John knows, cause he treated her. The lady was
Oh,
coming out of her
oh, that's
RV and
the
broke
stuff.
her leg. Yeah,
Okay,
on Friday morning.
okay,
Yeah, so they had to leave.
okay.
So they've asked if they could be vendors next Memorial Day at no charge.
I think what we had decided to do was like reimburse so that we aren't carrying money over from this year to next year. So we would have to reimburse her
Okay.
and then
Okay.
she just have to apply it in January if she wanted onto her.
Now, it will be in the same fiscal year though.
You know, with the market, I think
He's always
he
said,
tracks it year.
in the beginning of the calendar year, he said
Oh,
he
he-
can.
Rob
Yes, yeah,
Oh, okay.
so. I
Well,
don't know.
the biggest thing is, those probably the reason why they came up with that solution was because we say that if you're here, we're not reimbursing you.
Well,
Where
it's
this here's a special
Well,
circumstance.
it's a medical emergency.
It's a medical, but yeah, but to keep the books clean on our tracking of the,
Yeah, we shouldn't
we do
reimburse them.
year to year, yeah.
Okay.
So we'll do a reimbursement on. The,
You all are on board with that?
Yeah,
okay,
I
can I
make,
have a motion?
I'll make the motion to go ahead and reimburse the Davises, for their flea market fee.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And then. Okay, on old business. I just added, Matt just talked to us about the speed down reduction. Is there any more discussion on that? Do you want to go forward? If so, I need a motion to, approve the, speed reduction plan.
I make a motion that we accept the Department of Transportation speed reductions as they have presented them.
And I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So, Matt, you can let them know.
Yep.
Does anybody else have any other old business that we can get on here? Any counselor comment, Marcia?
No.
Charlie?
it. No.
No. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
okay.
Just because I asked John Young, because I've seen they're already advertising for the Christmas bazaars and the volunteers is gonna do all of the Christmas this year, so they're gonna get on that, so they'll have the bazaar again in the museum library.
Yeah, it could be. And I'll have Ron keep busy on our side.
And I believe Laramie is doing the trunk or treat. And I don't know if that means, the dredge is gonna be done, but she does not want to see the trunk or treat die, so she is gonna do the trunk or treat again this year too. Just so that people know what's coming up.
Sharon, can we get TOT money for advertising for the Christmas bazaar?
Well, it's the parade too and the
I
tree
can ask.
lighting.
I can ask if
Well,
there's enough time.
the trade
Yeah,
comes
that's what
in
I'm
also.
wondering.
Yeah,
Trade services that, so it's kind of a Cause I know they advertise. for it.
Because they go from the train to the bazaar, correct?
Well, yeah, they come in and then, yeah, and they have 2 runs, I believe, that day. In fact, they do Sunday too. So they come in for the tree lighting, also in the parade, and then there's a train that comes in earlier.
I can check and see, my only concern would be timing,
Timing, yeah, because
because it's,
they're having a meeting here, on the 3rd of October, it looks like.
And it's the first Saturday, Sunday of December,
Okay,
so next
we can
week
ask.
is the second.
yeah.
So that-
Yeah.
I can
14.
ask Shelley if there's enough time to, or I'll call Jessica
Yeah,
and find out if there's enough time to get a request in. And, first of all, and then,
yeah,
See.
get some more advertising on ours, get it going.
yeah, I know Jessica would help with the advertising with no problem there. I'll see if there's a possibility to get funds to
Otherwise, just
offset
get
whatever costs we may have.
just get some advertising, at least start on the advertising right
Yeah.
away.
Because John, is Ron working with Jessica on the advertising for the bazaar?
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about that, the meeting is October 3rd early this year, or this month. But yeah, we're gonna start getting on, of course, we start advertising bingo and bazaar and the whole bit.
Okay.
Now, things are kind of laid out, we kind of know what's going on.
Okay.
And
So,
bingo's the first Friday of October.
yep, the 4th, it's on the billboard.
Okay.
Hey, any other councilors?
No.
Public comment? Yes, John?
First of all, I'd like to commend Matt for, bringing us right from 1974, jumped right to the 90s. So we still got a ways to go, but Matt, can you download the ordinances on there? So if there's a question in orange, you can put it up there and we can read what the ordinance says.
What do you mean download the?
Put them on your laptop so we can put them on the screen. So if there's a question of the ordinance, we can look at the ordinances.
Yeah, I can go on our website and put because that's where the ordinance is.
So I mean, no, for these meetings, when
Yeah.
somebody comes and there's a question, we can look at the ordinances. instead
Yeah,
of,
we
you
could
know.
do that. But again, we could look at them from the website.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
That's
that's more about,
So,
Not sure.
volunteer park, can anybody use that? Well, as in the merchants,
For what?
events,
You mean the covered area?
all of it?
Well, the, playground part's probably going to get dismantled here.
Yeah, it should.
I mean, so that's on schedule, but no, it needs to be replaced.
The
It's
jungle
dangerous.
gym's just a lawsuit waiting to happen.
It all needs to go away. We're gonna try to work on a grant for that too. For Matt is, there's no we, Matt. I mean, what are you wanting?
Well, we were trying to get in October, we were gonna do a Parktoberfest. And and Laramie asked us to take over the merchants, we did. We've had a couple meetings and we've decided, it's just too tight, let's do it next year.
Mhm.
So we've got a year to plan for it now. And Oktoberfest, I believe we'll get up there with Trail Fest. It'll be big because
I mean,
nothing else.
what do you mean the park, what, you just wanna use the covered area or what?
Any of it,
Okay,
to put games out for kids or to whatever, if they have a beer garden across the street. We could use that over there for something, because the fairgrounds, how much it costs to run the fairgrounds?
You talking to me?
Come on.
it depends on the amount, but I think it's roughly anywhere from $350 up to $650, $750, $800, somewhere in there.
So, I thought it'd be more than that, but,
this is for next year?
yeah, next year or whatever we can
Okay.
come up with. The merchants in this town that suffered this summer, I'll guarantee it. And it's due to the smoke
Yeah.
and the heat, and nobody was here, and they're all hurting right now, I can guarantee you that.
Well, we all-
Well, then you shouldn't shrug your shoulders, because,
Well, we all know that it's, yeah, everybody's been hurting.
yeah,
Well, there's nothing, we have no fee schedule set for the volunteer park.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
is no fee schedule set.
okay, could we improve it?
Improve the park?
Can the town improve the park? The grass out there now is spotted knapweed, that's a cancer causing agent,
Yeah.
yeah. We're the only ones, I think, not aware, she's probably the only one that takes it off of all of our property, bags and what we're supposed to do. The city's got that shit growing everywhere and you don't maintain it at all.
Yeah.
So, is there any chance we could try and put grass in that property? So this town is a dump at this point. I'm sorry, but it is. You look from one end to the other and it's all rotten, decayed, and it's just, it needs a whole makeover. This town does. I mean, unless we're just gonna wait till we all get old, lock the gate, and throw the key away. Cause that's where we're heading right now.
The volunteers.
You run off everybody new in town, I'm talking, you run off everybody new in town, or you give them misinformation about what their house is, and 3 to 5 years they leave. Ask Chuck Scott. He sells the same house every 3 to 5 years. And that bullshit has got to stop in this town. The clique, bullying up on anybody new that moves here, unless you jump in the clique. Okay?
Don't know how to push.
Chuck Scott has got his house for sale. Do you know who Chuck Scott is? Do
Yes, they do.
you know what he does
Hmm,
for a living?
I knew it one time, but I
Yeah.
can't tell you right
Do
now.
you care about riding in the mountains, Marcia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chuck Scott's the manager at Edge. He's the biggest help we have in saving these access to these mountains, because he can get out to thousands and thousands of people in a single email. But he's for sale because he's tired of the bullying bullshit in this town.
Probably more of the ordinances enforcing.
It could be, but it depends on who you are. If your ordinance is enforced, that's why we're smart, get it on the board.
Okay, so, but to start back,
Mhm.
we'll have to look in about the volunteer part. As far as we have no fee schedule,
We don't
so.
know no fee schedules, and I know the volunteers and a lot of town people showed up to help put that where it is, so
Mhm.
we'll see that.
Mhm.
So that's your, but I do know we had talked about getting a grant to replace the kids stuff and change and update it. So, got it
Okay.
noted, thank you.
So this town needs to, you've got to get this town up to something here that we can have events so we can make money as merchants and the towns will thrive and survive, because right now it's just plummeting downhill. The most important thing is what Terry's gonna do is fix the cemetery. I mean, let's be honest here, you know?
We're gonna talk,
I think that Matt demonstrated a fine point. It was a very great demonstration today, Matt. The city's gonna have difficulty operating in the red and there are five grants maybe.
Well, and as far as the ordinance go, John, we really basically have no enforcement. Yes, I would like to clean slate, do the ordinance, give everybody that's violating the ordinance conditional uses. But if, we have sent out letters and they ignore it, they laugh. So that means we've got to hire the lawyer, we've got to put a lien on their house, we have to take them to court. That drains, where do you want the cities to spend their money? You want to go after all of these people and rack up a lot of bills on taking all these people to court over the fact that they're not going to pay $285 a year on a conditional use to have their mom and pop living on their property in the summer. Money's the biggest issue. I'd love to go ahead and, follow the ordinance to the T and get this all cleaned up, but
Well, they're not fair, Marcia. And you know it.
What?
They're not fair. You don't administer the ordinances fairly. That's why they need to be up there in black and white, and if there's questions, why can't you do it? Because it says so right there. Or why can't I do it? Because it says so right there, and I can do it.
yeah.
You've got people like, I think the name's Hamilton's above Jennifer Lake. Somebody, one of you guys told them that has to be a commercial building. And it doesn't. It's in a CR zone. Page 18 of your ordinances, I think it's Article 510.
It's good.
If you're in a CR and you want to be a residence, right back to a residential.
No, it's commercial residential, and I don't know who would say that. That's commercial residential.
They told me that was last weekend. One of the counselors told them that you had to be commercial in that building and you can't live there.
I don't think the building's code.
I haven't even talked to him. No, they'd have to go through Don on that, but it doesn't matter. It's commercial residential. He can do either or.
I didn't know we had any commercial ground here in Sumter Selectmen.
What's that?
But we don't
I
have
didn't-
straight commercial.
That's what I'm saying, that's what John is saying, and that's not true. because we don't have a straight anything in here other than
Okay.
residential. Other than that, it's all commercial residential, IR, industrial residential, we have limited residential and all of this, and it's like, there is nothing that says commercial straight. Nothing that says IR, that it's an industrial straight. None of our zoning.
I know the ordinances.
Yeah,
Okay, guys, so,
Well,
So I'm just asking you, can we stop bullying up the new people,
There you are.
or else this town's dying, literally. And that's the end of it, because we need new people, okay? He volunteered, why should I take over the thing? He said he'd run trunk or treat, then he said he'd run, the Thanksgiving dinner, then he said he'd run Christmas. Now Laramie's doing trunk or treat, Laramie's doing that because Mike Bogart said, John, we don't have the bodies. So that tells me the volunteers are pretty much done. They're tired.
not
done. Well, why don't you get something else?
John and John, we're not going here and doing this argument.
Just because you want it.
Okay, guys. Because you.
No, John, I want to be part of this town and you
John.
kept me out. Oh, back there.
John, take it outside if you're gonna be yelling. We're not gonna be yelling at each other in this meeting. So, anything else that has public comment? I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Adjourn. So, next. It's 4:47.